Welcome back to the Haunting of Bly Manor. Last episode was like utterly fantastic. I'm hoping this one can follow suit. So what the hell is this episode going to be about? Guess we're going to follow this guy. What was his name again? Henry?
He trapped himself there, day and night, tucked away in his work.
That's not
his
healthy.
Nightly routine.
What the fuck? That's creepy as hell. Creepy. Oh, what the fuck? Not a fan of the smile. Well, alright then. Doesn't that just seem like so much fun? So Flora was born here at the manor. I feel like that could explain why she's so sensitive to like seeing the ghost and knowing how they work. You just taking a nap out here? What the hell?
Sometimes I just turn around and she's gone.
Sometimes people just need to be alone.
Especially when they're dead.
Poppins, you flirt.
Fine. I don't like the way we left it. Gotta keep things proper boring, haven't we? In a boring old pub. And see where that takes us.
So fucking cute.
You know we live above that pub, right?
I don't know.
So she's seeing Rebecca? Yeah, that would terrify me as a child as well. That would terrify me as an adult. Oh.
Hello, Flora.
Well, that explains why he avoids the house so much.
I didn't drive that.
That's pretty low. Cheating on your,
You see? No one
what would
there.
it be? Your brother's wife?
Till I gave him a story.
Was he happy when you gave him one?
Oh, he was.
So
I'm sure that's
maybe
actually
I could
true.
do that.
He's
Tell
probably
a story.
written it off
my
as, you know,
sweet girl.
an overactive imagination, but it probably was like really like a dead soldier.
You were 5 years old when this happened.
Oh, what the
So,
fuck,
Why aren't
dude?
I 5 years old? I'm not 5 years old.
Flora's not
I'm
dead
8
too,
years
right?
old. Why is my age all wrong? And I'll be over as soon as I...
Wake up. Wake up.
Dude, what the hell?
Okay.
Doesn't seem quite the same as what happened with Hannah, but similar.
Well, why are you calling?
I was looking for you.
So what, is this just like
So,
a manifestation of
We decided on
guilt?
Scotch and bourbon tonight.
So he's the one who's been calling them?
The Scholarship Society.
It seemed tomorrow I'm gonna call a doctor.
Yes, that sounds about right.
So
I called
sad.
Henry, but you didn't call back.
I feel so bad for
I-
Hannah.
Don't understand.
Neither did Henry, if I'm honest.
Because he
All
lost
three of
the
them
love of
just-
his life and his brother. Sounds like. Of course you didn't see it. Of course. So is that little boy the one who's always moving the dolls around?
Maybe Poppins might fancy a little boredom. What do you say?
Oh.
The kids are already taken care of.
In an impartial court.
Date night.
Are you taking me out here to kill me?
Keep talking, I just might. In 3 weeks, this entire plant will be dead. And in the spring, I'll have to plant a whole new moonflower.
And she chose to show it to her. It's so cute.
That's a lot of work for a flower that only blooms once.
Louise, on the other hand, call a spade, and they call my mum a whore.
Why
Pull
is
the door
every
into-
single person's
Bully her
backstory
at school, on the
incredibly sad?
streets, even makes its way home. So one day there's an accident. Social services gets involved and we split up. Everyone is exhaustive. Even the best ones. Sometimes.
Why is this show so
It's
sad,
you
dude?
goddamn
I said it
yes.
like too many times now,
Someone
but this show is like
Like
really
this moonflower
fucking
just might be
sad.
worth the effort.
Like, I'm so happy that this is happening, but this still makes me, like, kind of want to cry. Literally every single character. Every single one of them. Now that we've gotten all their backstories, they're all incredibly tragic. Not a single one of them has just a normal, nice history to them, and it's so sad. I don't like cheetahs. The way this shot is framed reminds me of the bent neck lady from the first season. Oh, now it really does.
All those extra children running around. You should get some rest as well. Are you coming to bed?
He knows.
For his birthday.
That's the look of a man who knows.
Got me thinking.
She was.
Oh.
Right. And I was so surprised.
I didn't put it together till
For a baby
just
that
now.
early, she wasn't nearly as small as I expected.
Ooh, that's really shitty. Holy shit. So Flora's actually Henry's daughter. That's bad. I feel so uncomfortable like watching a conversation like that.
The au pair could not remember the last time she'd slept this well.
Can we never just have a nice happy moment?
Okay, come on, let's go
Is she
inside.
also being possessed?
Why does this keep happening? I'm terribly sorry for the
Oh
trouble.
my
I was just
god.
going to walk. I didn't mean to allow you.
Oh my gosh, that explains so much. So Miles is being possessed by Peter. Flora is being possessed by Rebecca. Fuck. That puts a whole new flip on why she always says perfectly splendid now. It's like not
Is anyone hurt?
just a cute little
need an
like, oh,
ambulance?
she copied Rebecca.
No,
Like,
I don't think it's that
she
simple.
fucking is Rebecca.
Jesus, I told you.
Ooh, he
You keep
pissed.
the office. You don't have a brother anymore.
Now it
Or
makes
niece.
even more
Or
sense why he can't go back to the
Nobody.
manor.
Just yourself.
Like he could, but
And yourself, Henry. Your real self.
this is probably the last thing he ever said to him. So you get pushed into a memory when you're possessed by someone, but you're also like wandering through memories when you're dead.
How can he be having two health? Look at him go.
It seems like Miss Gross can't control like how many memories she goes through.
What are you doing?
But when Flora's possessed, it only seems to be like one
can
memory
do it
before she wakes up.
Without me. What?
I should have done a lot of things differently.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're leaving tonight.
That wasn't so bad, was it?
It was hell.
Like, it seemed pretty bad.
Every time is hell.
She's having a rough time of it.
Seems like this episode and the last episode, they're giving us a lot of answers, but they're not answers I want, man. Like, everything just sucks.
I don't know, Poppins.
Come on.
I don't know, you got your hands full.
So cute. I love it.
And you can tell them why they were taking that trip in the first place.
Come on, man. You gotta go. You gotta go to Bly. So that little boy really is the one just moving the dolls around. Oh, and that's why there's that
Try this.
one ghost with like the doll face everywhere.
Come up with a story.
Couldn't have found a less creepy
Just for
like,
you.
mask to put on him. Yeah, no, I would freak out too. I'd be like, we're
Miles!
going now.
Miles!
Well,
Oh shit.
this is awkward.
Shit is happening.
Miles!
Can you not?
Come on!
What is that?
Sorry.
Oh, what the fuck, dude? Ah. Well, it looks like I've finally passed the build-up of the show, and I'm now starting to hit the slightly crazier shit. This episode mostly revolved around Henry, but to be honest, I think he was my least favorite storyline of the episode. It answered quite a bit about his character, but for me, it kind of only deepened the reasons I don't like him. And I don't know, his like twin demon, it really didn't do it for me. For me, it wasn't really scary, and it almost feels a little played out just because, I don't know, it feels like it's almost the same thing that happened with Danny. It's just a manifestation of guilt. But with Danny, like, the silhouette with the glowing glasses was actually pretty creepy, and it makes sense with it being, you know, her ex-fiance. For him, I mean, I know they explained it with his brother telling him, like, you know, that's who you really are, the evil demon with the shit-eating grin. I don't know, I just thought it was a little hokey. It wasn't really for me. And out of all the tragic backstories, his is the one I feel the least bad for. Because again, I mean, he was cheating. Like, he really brought it on himself. And he's the one that pushed them into going on the trip, which got them killed. So, again, I understand why it makes a lot of sense, why he feels so much guilt. But the explanation wasn't enough for me to feel for the character. I was just like, well, you're a shithead. You basically got them killed, and you did some really fucked up things. The only thing that really came out of that storyline that I really liked, just because of how it complicates things, is that Flora is actually his daughter. That was a pretty big reveal. I didn't see that one coming either. That being said, I think there were a lot of moments in this episode that I did like quite a bit. Everything that happened with Danny and Jamie, I think, was both very cute and incredibly sad. Because Jamie's backstory, again, was just like peak tragedy, and it did make me feel bad for her character, unlike with Henry. And I liked getting to know why she has such an affinity for plants and making things grow, why she distances herself from people. I thought it was all very well explained, very well acted. I really enjoyed those moments quite a bit. And of course, I was very happy that this was the episode that like really brought them together, and they both decided like, all right, we're doing this. I liked pretty much everything that had to do with Flora in this episode, learning that not only did she start befriending the ghosts and everything when she was 5 years old, but she is also being pushed into these memories because she's constantly being possessed by Rebecca, which I didn't really see that coming. I know in a previous episode I was like, are they both being possessed? But I rationalized then, I'm like, no, I don't think so. Like, she seems more put together than Miles does. But looking back at all those specific moments, it does make more sense, because Rebecca's not a fucking asshole like Peter is. It just made Flora seem, you know, more prim and proper and mature, which now, again, it makes a lot more sense. And it also revealed that more than likely, for Miles as well, when you're possessed, you are also pushed into a memory the same way Hannah is being dead. I guess you could almost say being possessed by another one of the ghosts essentially makes you like dead in a way. It pushes your soul out of your body so that you're just floating through memories. But again, it seems like it works a little differently when you're dead as opposed to when you're being possessed by someone. But I really liked that. It was a big reveal. I really wasn't expecting it, but kind of should have. I think the best scene in the whole episode actually was the flashback when the parents started talking to each other, and, you know, the dad revealed, I know that Flora is not my daughter, and I know you've been cheating on me with my brother of all people, just because of how uncomfortable it really was. I think they both were very good in terms of their acting in that scene. I think the writing was very good. And it was a pretty big reveal, because the moment he said, you know, the timing just doesn't make sense as to when she was born, and it clicked for me that Henry was actually the dad. Like, that was a great reveal. That really, really complicated everything, and it just really sucked, man. Like, that whole situation, I'm like, god damn, this is not good for like anybody involved here. And then of course they ended the episode with seemingly like the action is starting, like we're getting into the probably fairly prolonged climax of the show, because we still technically have 3 episodes after this, 7, 8, and 9, yeah. But it's clear they're done setting things up. They're like, all right, now it's time we really start rocking and rolling here, because Rebecca possesses Flora, who runs off to the attic, and then Miles, being possessed as well with Peter, knocks her out. Or not Flora, but, you know, Danny. And again, I don't really know where we're going from here. We know Peter murdered Hannah, so that makes me certainly worried for Danny. But Rebecca didn't even seem to know that he was possessing Miles, unless she was just bullshitting Flora, which she could have been. So I don't really know if there's like dual intentions going on here, or if Rebecca and Peter are genuinely trying to like kill Danny, or if there's something else entirely that they're trying to do. So far, we've only seen them possess the kids. I don't know if they're going to try and possess Danny. I really don't know. Cinematography in this episode was very good. This show is honestly extremely consistent with its cinematography. Lots of dead space that they use, very wide-angle shots, and occasionally getting a little more stylized with it, like the moment when Henry is kissing the mother and then she kind of disappears and then his like demon self drops down over top of him, which was very reminiscent of the bent neck lady from season 1, or Hill House, not really season 1. Music in this episode, again, very consistent with the rest of the season. It's very fitting of each moment. When there's something intentionally kind of creepy or off about a scene, there's like a very quiet, low, tension building type of music that plays. But for the most part, it's very fairy tale. It's very nice and pretty. For acting in this episode, I'm actually going to give it to Matthew Holness, the guy who plays the dad, Dominic Wingrave. Because to be totally honest, I don't think Henry Thomas, the guy who plays Henry, ironically, I don't think he did that great of a job during certain moments of this episode. Like, there were definitely scenes I think he did well in. I don't really like how he played his evil self. And the moment he sees the, you know, evil self for the very first time and he starts screaming, I wasn't really feeling it. I thought it wasn't that well acted at all, actually. I'm not saying he's a bad actor. Again, I think there were moments that he did well. I just feel like there were also a fair few moments where I was like, no, I'm not feeling it. I don't think you did as good of a job as you could have right there. So yeah, I'm gonna give it to Matthew Holness. I think he played almost the entire thing very, very well. The slow realization that his wife is cheating on him with his little brother. The scene when he like tells her, yeah, I know, and I figured it out, I think was very well acted. And I also think the scene when he banishes Henry was very well acted, because there's just so much seething anger that he's really holding down, because you can tell he wants to like hold his little brother down and like beat him to death right there, but he doesn't. He just spits some really mean, like hateful stuff at him, which I think was incredibly well acted. He gets my award for this episode. Editing and pacing, I think, was too slow. Or not even necessarily too slow, I just think there was too much focus on Henry. Again, I wasn't really feeling that storyline, and there's a lot of the episode that's devoted entirely to that. There were moments of it that I enjoyed quite a bit, but there were also quite a few moments I was really not into. And to spend that much time on the character just for me to go out of the episode hating him maybe a little bit more than I did going into it, not really what I was looking for. Overall, I'm gonna give this episode a 7.5 out of 10. Probably my least favorite of all the episodes, just because there was such a focus on Henry and I didn't really like that storyline. But there were enough moments throughout the rest of the episode that I think were very well done for me to not, hate the episode or anything. For me, this episode actually had some of my favorite moments of the season and some of my least favorite moments of the season, which makes it a little difficult to rate it properly. But I think there was a majority of the episode spent on Henry, and again, I just didn't really like that storyline for this episode, so I gotta be a little critical on this one. Regardless, they set up a lot of things that I did really, really enjoy, specifically the ending scene, which, again, it really sets up the fact, like, alright, we are into the thick of things now. Shit is about to go down, so don't miss out on, you know, the next 3 episodes. Which I will not. So I will see you all in the next episode. And that's about it. That's it. Goodbye. There's that fucking crack again. What is that?
You should be nicer to me, Anna.
Why?